everybody, and welcome to another great episode of the How to Think podcast. The troublesome three are back. I was trying to think of something witty to say there, but I couldn't really do it, guys. So that's a really nice segue into our topic tonight, which is learning. What is it to you, and how does it impact your focus each day? Which I thought was a nice little question that we could be asked. So I reckon I'm gonna hit it off with the nerd of the group tonight. So Rob, that is you, my friend.
The nerd. Wow.
Don't mind me referring to your OP/your ATAR/ we all know what physios get. So let's hear it, my friend.
Learning's huge, especially as a physiotherapist, if I'm being very specific to what I do, because I guess one of the things that physiotherapists that we preach, and one of the things that we live by, is evidence-based practice. And when it comes to evidence-based practice, research is changing all the time. So, and that's a good thing. That's what we want. We want research to be updating what we're doing and telling us what we're doing, what's the best thing that we can be doing. That helps us basically help people in the best way possible. And what we need to do is we need to be learning all the time. We need to be searching for that learning and staying up with the times, and staying up with the current research. Otherwise, we may fall behind. And the only people who suffer from that are our patients and our clients, and then eventually have an effect on you as the person giving that treatment. So you got to stay up to date with it, and you got to learn. That's probably the biggest way in which that's why it's a big focus for me. So I've constantly got emails coming through where I'm connected, where I'm getting research articles sent to me that are relevant, and I'm always looking on websites and things like that and seeing what's popping up, so I can just be up to date with it all. And I think, and it's all stuff that interests me as well. And I make sure I stay, I know that my passion's there and I'm interested in it, and it helps me learn. If I take out, you call me a nerd. One of the things I do really like listening to and learning about is a bit of neuroscience. And I think one of the things they talk about, especially, for kids, they learn like no tomorrow. They learn off everything. But as soon as you get over a certain age, and it's a little bit different for every person, but generally you can put it around sort of the age of 25, you've got to have a real intent to learn. Otherwise you won't learn. So I'm basically at that now, if you wouldn't have guessed. And so making sure that my intent and my focus on learning is high and is happening all the time is really important for me to continue to progress.
That is an incredibly honest answer, mate. I really thank you for sharing that. Anyone who's got any aspirations to study and potentially pick up some tips there, I recommend you email Rob, guys, and maybe we can have another topic about learning on the show for sure. Serge, what do you got for us, my friend?
Yeah, look, just kicking off with what Rob mentioned there. It's the first thing. It's that intent to learn. So look, let's make this perfectly clear that unless you have that, then there's going to be a bit of a struggle, right? But what's the purpose of it, right? What's the benefit of it? Why are we saying, we need to learn? Well, because if we don't learn, then we kind of wither and die, like things move at a rapid rate in your own personal life, in society, in the industry that you're in the business that you're in the circles that you're around, and the people that you're with. And if you're not constantly learning new ways or better ways or specific ways of doing things, then you're going to be left behind in a number of circumstances. My dearly departed dad always used to say that the only time you stop learning is when you're 6 foot under, and that's the case. So whether it's picking up a book or listening to a podcast or listening or reading a paper and picking up something there, learn whatever you can. I'm very fortunate because what I do, I've in my sphere of sales coaching, business coaching, leadership, all those things that I'm involved with, I have so many different people and mentors that I read and listen to and pick up, bits and pieces here and there. And I even remember things that I may have learned 10 years ago that sort of skips you and go, yes, I remember that. I've got to do that again. One of my other favorite, sayings is, you either win or you learn. So I don't like the word fail per se, you know, because if you're either winning or you're learning, and that's my approach.
I feel like I've got a lot to follow, but I'm going to try. Look, for me, guys, learning is about bettering yourself. It's about ensuring that you acknowledge what you don't know and you fill those gaps. Taking on new information is somewhat challenging. When you talked about the age of 25, Rob, incidentally, that seems to be when a lot of people seem to start to get comfort. They start to get complacent. You hear 30-year-olds talk about themselves as being old. And I always look at those people and think, if they're saying that publicly in an open forum, I can only imagine what their mindset must be like. And I think it's all about your mindset, and it's about your ability to acknowledge A, how you learn, but B, the way you want to learn. And they're big things. And I'm a big believer in that. People should focus on what you're bad at, because we're all bad at a lot of things. You should focus on what you're good at and do lots of it. And if you can do that, you will you'll go far in life. Passion and learning are intertwined. So for those who are into some Venn diagrams, who are into their mathematics, those two are intertwined, okay? And although I may not do the neuroscience podcast, I'm not sure I can bear claim to that. I will say that there is a gentleman called Mr. Joe Rogan on my podcast, and what I love about Joe is that he doesn't judge. He has everyone from Dr. Phil to Dan Bilzerian on his show, and what he tries to do is get learnings out of that. And one thing I want to talk about with learning there is one of the most dangerous words that confronts learning in this day and age, and you all, I reckon I'll get some simultaneous nods here when I say this. The word entrepreneur. It's a really, really, really easy way to say full of shit. And I will point out, Dylan, please beep that out. But for me, guys, learning equals results, and results equals fun and passion. If you can do those three things, you'll be very, very happy with the life that you lead, which leads me to my question for you gentlemen today, which is, when was it you kind of had an idea about how you like to learn? When did you start to sort of figure that out? Was that when you were a teenager? Was that when, Rob, for you, that's right now, as in your mid-20s? In your mid-20s, was it? When was it? And the reason I referenced the three of us is we're both all three of us are very busy people. And I'm just interested when we all had that sort of notion realized within ourselves. So, Serge, what are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, look, I kind of went through my whole schooling and uni and stuff and sort of just did it, like, okay, fine, got through. But I really had the passion to learn when I got into the business world, like when I first started as a salesperson, and then I became a sales manager, and then, joined my brother in our first business together. And that's when I said, I really want to get good at this. What else do I need? And that's where I started to pick up, the self-help books and the business books and the, reading the Zig Ziglars of this world and the, Dale Carnegie's of this world, and even further today, Jack Daly and Jim Collins and Simon Sinek, and I could just go on, right? But it was pretty much in my early business days where I started to get the passion to learn.
And Rob, how about yourself?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I reckon I've almost found it by, I wouldn't say trial and error, because it's kind of something you try different ways of trying to learn things, and you kind of then start to see a bit of a pattern, and you see a pattern based on results. and how you do things. So I think that the two best ways that I think I found I learn is either one, by writing. So when I say writing, I don't mean just trying to rote learn. I mean, trying to, it depends on this, it depends on the material, but I find writing things out, whether it's doing a speech or doing a presentation and things like that. I find that things that I write down and then I speak, I generally tend to remember quite a lot better. Like I could probably tell you some weird information from some high school project that I did where I had to do a presentation on 10 years ago, but I couldn't tell you if I read something yesterday, I couldn't tell you what I read. And then the other thing is when I'm in social settings and doing study groups is generally when I've found I've been really productive. And when you're not the ones where you procrastinate, but ones where you rather actually talk about what you're studying and what you're doing. Because I generally find that listening to other people's opinions, listening to ways in which they think about things really does help me kind of understand certain theories and certain things well. So I've always found that if I've got a good group of people around me who can study with, I tend to learn things better and see things from different perspectives, and that kind of sticks with me. And that's how I learn better. I think I'm not sure, I don't have all the neuroscience behind that, but I'm sure it's out there. We're social creatures, so it makes sense.
Can I just jump in there? I say this often: if you want to learn something, teach it.
Yeah, that's huge. That's something. 100%.
So, I often say to some of my people that I coach and train, if you want to really learn this and you really want to get it embedded, I say, go and teach your dog. Just go through everything that we've just gone through and teach them what you've just learnt. And that's,
and one of the things that some of my mentors that where I'm at, it's always a true test of mastery of skill or a true test of mastery of knowledge is teaching. That's when you know that you actually know what you're talking about.
Don't say that in front of Ben. Don't.
I was just sitting here quietly enjoying that, gentlemen.
I
think that one of the things that's underplayed and why people have difficulty at work, or difficulty for students listening to this, who have difficulty at school, I won't name him due to privacy reasons, but one of my first students with full spectrum education is now at a very, very prestigious, of the ilk of Harvard in America. And this is a young man that has dyspraxia, dyscalculia, and dyslexia. And he's actually on academic scholarship. So I would question people if they say they can't learn. I would more say, have you figured out how to learn?
Yep.
So for those people listening to this, whether you're 6, maybe 16, 26, or 106, whatever you are, please email us, call the show, email. Let us know what you thought. Let us know about how you learn. Let us know if you've got questions about learning style theory, whatever you want. Just, get me started, guys. We'll talk learning styles all night. But jokes aside, it is about figuring out who you are, what you are, and the way you want to be. So I think we could all probably talk all night on this, but I really hope people take the opportunity to, we've got 3 incredibly passionate people about their fields. In terms of thinking through your daily life, this would be a great opportunity to email us and get some further feedback in future episodes. So until next week, everybody, stay safe, have a great week, and gentlemen, be safe as well, and we will see ourselves next week.